Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you what I packed for 1 year in Canada. This is all I have and we're gonna have a close look inside and I'm gonna give you some advice what I think is useful here and what not. So let's start. I made this video because when I came to Canada, I searched for videos. What should I pack and bring here for 1 year of work and travel? I mean, we have temperatures from minus 30 degrees to plus 30 degrees, and it's pretty difficult to pack everything in just one backpack. So if you're just here for nice travel vlogs and scenery, then better see you next time. Otherwise, then we just start and I give you a little bit an update of what I packed. And after I've been here for 3 months now, I can also tell you what was good. As always, I'm going to try to find some links to the different products that I present here. So in case you want to get some more information, then just check the video description here. I'm not sponsored by anyone here. It's just things that I think are helpful and I'm happy to recommend what works for me. For underwear and socks, I brought like enough for 10 days. So 10 pairs of socks, 10 underwear. And for the socks, I have identical ones. So if I miss a sock in a laundry machine and another time a second one, I can all combine them. I also brought 1 pair of thick socks so that you always have warm feet, and I used it a lot so far. I can highly recommend to use these packing sacks because they compress the clothes so much. I have everything in here. This is all my underwear and socks, so 10 pairs each. This is most of my clothes. I just have 1 thick pullover not in here, but the rest is in here and they are pretty useful. For this journey, I just have like 1 big bag and 1 small bag because usually I'm gonna stay for several weeks in one place. When I backpack and gonna change accommodation every other day, then I usually just go with several of the smaller ones because you can pack like the complete outfit for 2 or 3 days in it. So you just need to take this out of your backpack and not repack all the time because it gets quite annoying if you have the hassle of packing every other day. So yeah, just highly recommend it because they save a lot of space, and as soon as you get them all in here, you're going to be pretty safe that everything's going to fit in the backpack. Then the pro tip number 1 is bring some bags. So like a day pack, so to say, that you can fill with things. And this is for like a hiking thing. I think it's super handy to have something and not just have your huge backpack to carry around things for a day trip. I also use it when I'm flying, that I have my small suitcase that I take with me into the plane, and in the suitcase is a pre-packed backpack with the things I really need, like my laptop or my headphones or whatever. Another part of my special equipment is my fanny pack. I use it especially when I'm traveling to put in my passport or all the valuables like the cash, the credit cards and so on, that I have them really close to my body and that I also have them always accessible and very handy. I also use it when I'm hiking to store my camera inside because it's easier to get it out of this thing than out of the backpack. So let's see what's in this box. Feels a little bit like an unboxing tutorial here. Here are 2 sweatshirts in more like neutral colors because I think it's important to be able to combine all of your clothes that you pack. You shouldn't have like 2 unique or 2 colorful things. So I have 2 hoodies, 2 pants, 2 sweatshirts. Most of the things I have 2 of.
All just because I ripped my pants.
It's very practical. This is now my working pants, because when I wear like an overall, I can still wear these pants. But it happened after like 3 weeks here in Canada, and I'm happy that I still have a normal pant that I can wear for traveling and going to the supermarket and so on. But I think I'm soon going to buy a new one. This is my fleece. I think from the packing perspective, what I had in mind was to have multiple layers of functional clothes. So I can put on more clothes when it's minus 30 degrees, but I can also have this on a kind of chilly summer evening as well, when it's just like 15 degrees or something like that. So it's not too hot for the summertime, and I can use it to combine different layers for the winter time. I also brought some shirts in case, because I didn't know what kind of jobs I'm going to do here. If I work on farms, if I work in an office, if I work in a bar or restaurant. So I have prepared for all kind of things. Swim shorts, also something I haven't used so far. As you can see, I roll all my t-shirts. I, in one YouTube tutorial, saw that this should save you a lot of space. I don't know if it's true or not, but the things don't get that wrinkly, and you can easily store them at the sides and put them there where you actually need them. Most of my shirts are plain black or white shirts. It's important that you can easily combine everything that you have in there from your clothes with each other, and usually I would recommend going more for the black shirts, because they're not so prone to get stains on them. I also have like long sleeves and long underwear. I have 2 long sleeves, like I already said, 2 of each. I also brought one really thick and warm sweatshirt. It's from Icelandic wool. It was shit expensive, but it was really a lifesaver here, because I wore it underneath my overall, and even minus 35 degrees weren't a problem with this one. Sport t-shirts, which are from this elastic and breathable fabric, I don't know what's called, but I usually use them as the down layer, especially on days where it's sunny outside but still like minus 10 degrees. So usually you're gonna freeze in the morning and sweat by noon, and with these shirts it's good to keep you dry. Yeah, that's basically it. I brought 2 kinds of jackets to Canada. A really warm down jacket, which kept me warm even in temperatures of minus 30 degrees, and a thinner waterproof jacket for the warmer days. This is actually my snowboard jacket, but since in nowadays the things aren't insulated anymore, it's perfect as a rain jacket as well. When it comes to workwear, I read a lot of questions. Should I bring more stuff, or can I buy workwear here in Canada? I was lucky that at the kennel I got overalls provided, and I also could take one overall from them for my next jobs. But here in Canada there are a lot of thrift shops where you can buy second-hand clothes, and it's not super expensive. So I would recommend to save the space in your backpack and not fly over old dirty clothes. Just buy them here as soon as you're here, when you definitely know that you're gonna need them for a job. When it comes to footwear, I have basically the same selection as I had already on La Réunion. I also pack this in a packing sack, because if the shoes are dirty, then they don't mess up in my backpack, and also I can compress them, and this builds the perfect foundation to put all the other things in the backpack. So if I take it off, it stands on this foundation. So yeah, it's also of a practical use for that. It's this water, aka hiking, aka whatever shoes. They're perfect, but not when it's wet, because the water goes through and you're gonna have wet feet. So it's just for the summertime, but they're super light and good. I have my Hiking boots. If you followed me since the La Réunion videos, you might know or remember that I'm not the biggest fan of hiking boots. But since Canada has a lot of beautiful hikes and I don't want to miss out on one because I don't have hiking boots with me, so I brought them even though they take a lot of space. The third shoe I have is just like a winter sneaker, I would say, and it worked out perfectly during the winter time here. I have these things inside with a wool insulation, and yeah, it was good enough. When it comes to toiletries, this is enough for me. I brought a lot of things because I had to do this 2 weeks of quarantine when I arrived in Canada. Despite having a lot of room for toiletries like shampoo or body wash or whatever, I still use this kind of tiny things that you have with you when you don't have check-in luggage, because they're super for taking leftovers with you. So here's like moisturizing cream, this is mouthwash, and I had them in the big packages, and this is what was left, and instead of packing all the big packages, I could fill them into this small things, so very practical. Here we have the technical equipment. We have my MacBook, we have the drone with some extra battery packs and the remote control. I have a Kindle, and this is the adapter for the electricity. When you travel with so much technical things, you need a lot of things to recharge, and therefore I brought this extension cord with like 3 European or 3 German. Sometimes even this is not enough, so I also use this kind of plugs where you have 3 USB ports, because most of my equipment can be charged with a USB cable. The rest of the technical equipment I put in this case, so to say. It's like a gazillion cables, so it's nice and tidy. I also have this tiny tripod. It's like a Bluetooth thingy, and I can also use it as a remote control. I also brought this. It's like a separate hood, so to say. This is actually how it looks like. So it's like a hood, and you can put this up but also down, and here is something as well. So I brought rain pants. I usually use them in Germany when I go bicycling to work, and they're super. You can just wear them on top of your normal pants. Yeah, you can compress them really like that, so I can always have them in my backpack. During the 14 days of quarantine, it was important to me that I get some movement, and since you aren't allowed to leave the house to go for a run or something like that, I brought this foldable yoga mat, which is very handy. It's not as comfortable as a normal yoga mat, but it does its job. And I also brought like a block to do some of the yoga poses. What else? I have an inflatable pillow. I usually don't use it for sleeping, but it's very handy when you go to the beach and lay down there. So I really missed this on La Réunion because I forgot it at home. I also brought a lot of base caps because they don't take up a lot of space, and in cases like I am now in, where you can't go to the hairdresser, it's practical to have something to put on your wild hair.
Oh, speaking little white lies, I've got a rebel soul.
So that was everything from my suitcases. So unpacked, it's quite a lot, and now I need to clean up all this mess here because I'm currently in between 2 jobs and I'm traveling a little bit. Next time I'm going to give you an update what's actually going on and where I'm going. So see you next time. Bye bye.